So today it's about Agricola and I keep hearing good things. So what can you tell me about it?
In Agricola, you have lots of ways to improve your lot. You get to choose which actions to take on a turn-by-turn basis, with the game board displaying all the possibilities available to you. After all, you're a determined family man or woman. You won't let a little thing, like the possibility of starvation, stop you from making your children the happiest, most well-adjusted kids on the block. The game is so much fun that you can play it for hours without getting bored even once.
Oh yeah, that does sound like fun. And indeed, who doesn't want to have the most well-adjusted kid on the block? So how do I set it up?
Shuffle the animal tiles and form a face-down stack beside the playing area.
Okay, done, but the stack may get a little bit shaky though.
Now, place the farmer, the sheep and the cows on the 3 spaces respectively. Each player also begins with one favorite animal marker in their color.
Cool, easy. Anything else?
Each player takes 3 fences and 1 stable from the bag and places them face down on the farmyard.
Gotcha. Who goes first?
The youngest player, who is assumed to be the youngest son of the player, who has the widest beard, chooses the starting player.
What an unusual way to determine a start player, but definitely so much more innovative compared to just rolling a die or so.
The player can decide how many fences and stables to place on the table during the first round. In the following rounds, each player has to place fences and or stables on the table, because they have run out of these components.
I see, and I reckon that basically everyone will place as many fences during the first round as possible. But how do I actually play the game?
Players pick the top card from the stack and follow the instructions given on this card. These instructions are written in both German and English. The players then move their playing pieces in their farmyards, as instructed by this card.
So it's basically a card-driven game? Wow, that's nice.
The game continues in this way until the last card has been drawn, and all the players have had an equal number of turns.
I guess the game can take a while then?
You can do only 2 things, but you can do many different things with them. A player may move any, or all of their playing pieces in a turn. Each playing piece may be moved once, and only once, even if the roll of the dice allows multiple movements.
Wow, card-driven and rolling some dice, but what am I trying to achieve in this game?
The most valuable farm is the one with the most things on it. And players can totally lie about the value of their farm.
It keeps getting better and better, but how do I choose an action?
The dice are rolled, and the current player gets to choose the action, with the most grain symbols matching the total. If no player is able to take an action, the dice, and thus the action, are passed to the player on the left.
Got it. So the best strategy is simply to roll low. But what do I do with those improvement cards?
Using an improvement gives players the option of getting rid of it at some point in the game, and taking one of the 3 improvement cards from the top of the deck.
I see, but what about food? I mean, I keep hearing that you have to feed your farmers or so.
It's a tough life, and not made any easier by the fact that every time you take an action, you must also take the corresponding food token.
Agreed, that's tough.
If the player cannot pay this cost, the family member is devoured by the plague, and is removed from the game.
No, strike that. That is tough.
If a player is unable to pay the food tax, they must send one family member to the county to work off their tax burden.
Okay, must be an expansion thing or so. So better feed your people and yeah, pay the tax collector. But how do I score some points in this game?
At the end of the game, points are tallied based on the number of blocks in your territories, the value of your monopolies, and the cards you have in your hand. Extra victory points are awarded for the largest magic garden. Finally, victory points are awarded to the player who has collected the most elf, dwarf, and wizard cards.
Understood. But how does the game end then?
The game ends after a round, in which 3 improvements were placed. After that, the game is over and the winner is determined. That's it.
Awesome! Now I'm ready to play.